Oscar Pistorius, a name once celebrated in the world of sports, took a shocking turn from glory to infamy. Born on November 22, 1986, in South Africa, Pistorius faced life-altering challenges from the very beginning. Both his feet amputated at just 11 months old due to a congenital defect, Pistorius grew up defying limitations. He emerged as a remarkable athlete, running in both Paralympic and Olympic Games, making history as the 10th athlete to do so. But on Valentine's Day 2013, the world witnessed a tragic turn of events. In his Pretoria home, Pistorius shot and killed his girlfriend, Reeva Steenkamp, a paralegal and model. Pistorius claimed it was a mistake, mistaking her for an intruder. The trial began on March 3, 2014, with Pistorius pleading not guilty to murder, but admitting to causing Steenkamp's death. Judge Oscar Pistorius agreed to a request for the evaluation by prosecutor Gary Neal after forensic psychiatrist Meryl Vorster testified for the defense that she had diagnosed Pistorius with generalized anxiety disorder. On 30 June 2014, the trial resumed after the evaluation reports said Pistorius could be held criminally responsible. The state prosecutor was quoted as saying, "Mr. Pistorius did not suffer from a mental illness or defect that would have rendered him not criminally responsible for the offense charged." The defense closed its case on 8 July and closing arguments were heard on 7 and 8 August. On 12 September, Pistorius was found guilty of culpable homicide and one firearm-related charge of reckless endangerment related to discharging a firearm in a restaurant. He was found not guilty of 2 other firearm-related charges relating to possession of illegal ammunition and firing a firearm through the sunroof of a car. On 21 October 2014, he received a prison sentence of a maximum of 5 years for culpable homicide and a concurrent 3-year suspended prison sentence for the separate reckless endangerment conviction. In June 2015, Pistorius was recommended for early release as early as August. South African Commissioner of Correctional Services Zach Modise told the BBC of the decision by the Case Management Committee at the Kogosi Mampuru prison in Pretoria, where Pistorius was being held. Under South African law, he is eligible for correctional supervision, having served a sixth of his sentence. After Pistorius served approximately 1/6 of his prison term, his release date to house arrest was announced for 21 August 2015. This release was based on good behavior and the fact that he was not considered a danger to the community. Pistorius was expected to remain under house arrest and correctional supervision and was expected to perform community service as part of his continuing sentence. Regardless of his release from prison, Pistorius could not return to official athletic competition until the whole 5 years of his sentence was complete. On 19 August 2015, his release was unexpectedly blocked by South Africa's Justice Minister Michael Masutha. According to Masutha, the parole board's decision for early release was premature. Legal experts noted that the move could have been due to political pressure and had implications for other cases of pending early release. He was released from prison on 19 October 2015. On 4 November 2014, prosecutors applied to the sentencing judge for permission to appeal the culpable homicide verdict, stating that the 5-year prison term was shockingly light, inappropriate, and would not have been imposed by any reasonable court. Judge Thokozile Masipa ruled on 10 December 2014 that the prosecution could challenge her ruling of acquitting Pistorius of premeditated murder and convicting him of the lesser charge of culpable homicide. However, she ruled that the state could not appeal the length of the sentence. The case was then set for appeal in front of a 5-person panel at the Supreme Court of Appeal. The date for prosecutors to submit court papers outlining their arguments was set for 17 August 2015, and the date for the defense team's response was set for 17 September 2015. The date for the appeal hearing was set for November 2015. The prosecutor's argument rested on Judge Masipa's application of the legal principle of dolus eventualis, whether an accused did actually foresee the outcome of his actions rather than whether he or she should have, and that the judge made an error in concluding Pistorius had not foreseen that by firing 4 shots through the closed door of the toilet cubicle, he would kill or injure whoever was behind the door. The appeal was heard on 3 November 2015 in the Supreme Court of Appeal, Bloemfontein. The matter was heard before 5 Supreme Court judges. By a unanimous decision, the court overturned Pistorius's culpable homicide conviction and found him guilty of murder in the death of Reeva Steenkamp. Judge Eric Leach read the summary of judgment. The panel of 5 judges found for the prosecutor's argument that Pistorius must have known that someone would die if he fired through the closed door into a small toilet cubicle. In the words of Judge Leach, although he may have been anxious, it is inconceivable that a rational person could have believed he was entitled to fire at this person with a heavy caliber firearm without taking even that most elementary precaution of firing a warning shot, which the accused said he elected not to fire as he thought the ricochet might harm him. According to the judgment, the person who Pistorius thought was in the cubicle had nothing to do with the results of his actions. The culpable homicide verdict was replaced with a murder conviction, and the case was referred back to the trial court for a sentencing hearing when it reconvened on 18 April 2016. Pistorius was briefly released from prison for 4 hours on 14 October 2016 through a compassionate leave license to attend the funeral service of his grandmother, who died on 8 October 2016. In November 2016, Pistorius was transferred from the Kogosi Mampuru jail to Atteridgeville Correctional Center, which is smaller and better adapted for disabled prisoners because it has better facilities for inmates, including bathtubs and cells. It also holds prisoners who are serving 6-year sentences or less. In March 2023, it was announced that a parole board would consider an early release for Pistorius on 31 March, despite his serving just half of his sentence. Pistorius' release was opposed by Barry and June Steenkamp, Reeva Steenkamp's parents. Ahead of the hearing, June Steenkamp said Pistorius was not remorseful or rehabilitated. According to his parole lawyer, Pistorius had been a model prisoner, a factor taken into account for parole. If he had been granted parole, the parole board would have had several options ranging from full parole to day parole or correctional supervision. Pistorius was denied parole, with a lawyer for the Steenkamp family stating that we were advised at this point in time that it has been denied and it will be considered again in 1 year's time. On 19 September 2017, it was confirmed that the SCA would hear the state's arguments appealing to extend Pistorius's sentence on 3 November 2017, with its final ruling being confirmed on 24 November 2017. On 24 November 2017, the SCA increased Pistorius's jail sentence to 13 years and 5 months. Prosecutors had argued that the 6-year term was too short. The SCA ruled his sentence be increased to 15 years, less time already served. On 19 December 2017, it was confirmed that Pistorius had filed papers with the Constitutional Court to appeal the newly increased sentence and have his previous 6-year sentence reinstated. On 9 April 2018, it was confirmed that on 28 March 2018, the appeal was dismissed by the courts. Pistorius was not to be eligible for parole until at least 2023. After an additional hearing, parole was again denied on 31 March 2023. On 24 November 2023, it was announced that Pistorius was to be released on parole. Reeva Steenkamp's mother, June Steenkamp, did not oppose his parole because she simply cannot muster the energy to face him again at this stage. Pistorius was released on parole on 5 January 2024, with conditions in place until his sentence expires on 5 December 2029. Don't miss out on the latest updates and thrilling narratives. Hit that subscribe button now and be a part of our journey into the world of crime.